So I just got done watching a great documentary on kids in the 70s that grew up in the 70s. That was me. We were kids, and I posted it on my post page, and the video link's at the bottom of my comment. But gosh, I'd give anything to go back to those days. I really would. And looking back at it and watching the video, I realized, wow, we were basically forced as kids to become very resilient, and we grew up that way, I guess. What we learned back then, it really served us well today. But one thing, they left out something, they couldn't get everything in, but one of the things I remember, anyone listening to me right now that grew up in the 70s, do you remember the telephone, we called it the telephone pipeline? I don't know how to explain it. We'd get on the phone. We wouldn't dial anybody. We would just yell into the headpiece, and we'd say, anybody there? Anybody there? I'm talking kind of quiet because I don't want to wake up my neighbors next to me in this apartment. But anyway, we'd yell out, anybody there? And if you waited long enough, there would be a voice that sounded like it was on the other side of the planet or something, real far away. And we'd hear someone, yeah, I can hear you. It was stupid. It was just stupid, but it was a fun thing we did. Another thing, I don't know how it was everywhere in the United States, but in Detroit, we kids, after school or on the weekends, we'd go to our friend's house. And instead of knocking on the door or ringing the doorbell, sometimes we'd just walk in. Back in the day, you could just walk in and nobody batted a lash about it. But what we kids normally did, most of the time anyway, we'd stand outside like idiots. And we'd be screaming, because usually in the summer there's windows open, things like that. And we would sing and yell. I don't want to do it on this because I don't want to wake up my neighbors. But we'd sit there and stand outside yelling like Johnny or Mary or whatever. We'd sing it. Come out and play, come out and play. And we'd just sing it and sing it and sing it. And then finally the kids would come out and we'd play. I don't know, we were kind of weird. We had a lot of good times though. Hitchhiking was normal. Yes, I did another vlog on that earlier with my childhood, what it was like, and what I and a couple girlfriends did. Yeah, we'd hitchhike. I don't know how we survived anything. I just think that it was a blast. We also had the greatest music. I remember that. We wanted to be like the older hippies, in their 20s, and we were like 13 and 14 or whatever, trying to be all cool. I don't know, we did a lot of things, but I love that video, so I shared it. It was the best video I've seen so far on memory lane stuff and, the different generations growing up of kids. It was great. If I could, have a magic genie bottle or whatever, I would say, despite some of the lows, some of the heartaches, some of the difficult times, I would love to go back and stay in any summer of the 70s forever. It was great. It was really great. I don't know how we survived. I mentioned that too in another video. Smoking cigarettes was normal back then. Now, we weren't allowed to do it as little kids, but I think the minute we turned 18, I think everyone starts smoking. For decades later, even as a nurse in the hospital, the doctors, the nurses, we all smoked cigarettes. Nobody knew how bad it was, back then. And thank goodness, finally quit that a long time ago. But smoked too many years. But that was our release, But yeah, everything was different back then. But it was cool. I remember the station wagon. My dad and stepmother had one of those. Yeah, we'd kids pile up in the back, hanging out. They'll be driving on the freeway going 50, 60 miles an hour. And we're just hanging out. Our legs are hanging out. Our arms are hanging out. I don't know. We should have all been dead by now. But it was a good video. So if you get a chance and you go to my post, I just posted it. That's the best video so far I've seen. So, yeah. I think the 70s were the best. It really was. For me, except for a couple experiences, going back and forth, living between divorced parents. I already shared videos on that. But yeah, it brings back a lot of memories, and it made me smile through the whole thing. It was crazy. Yeah, we played with mercury when the thermometer broke. They didn't know it was bad for you. We would play with it. We did everything in that video they said. It's 100% true. 100%. So it was really good. Yeah. I don't know. That's the time, if I could go back, if I had a time machine, I would stay in this, I'd say the mid to late 70s when I was older. Childhood was a little bit more emotionally challenging for me, let's put it that way. But yeah, it was good times, really good times. And it was a different world, It was just totally different, but a lot of fun too. So if you get a chance, you can listen to it. There's probably a lot more on YouTube about different generations, of kids growing up. And yeah, we were daredevils on the playground. I mean, they were killer rides, those, what do you call those merry-go-round things you hang on? They show it in the video. I don't know what you call them. Yeah, we got tore up on that a few times. I don't know, but we just kept on going back. It was like, I don't know. It was just a lot of fun being a kid back then. It was really a lot of fun. From, I'd say, the age 13 to 17, when you graduate. Well, I graduated high school at 17. But yeah, it was fun. So I like watching those videos, but I just thought I'd shout that out there. I'm wide awake. It's like 12 midnight. I'm a night person. I don't know. I sleep, but I think I'm abnormal because I don't need a lot of sleep. It's weird. Sometimes I do. It'll just hit me and crash. I'll crash after several days without sleep. I sleep every day, but not much. I don't know. I don't feel like I need it or something. It's weird. Anyway, just wanted to share that. So I'm looking forward to finding more videos on all of that. It's pretty crazy stuff. In hindsight, looking back, I think, wow, we were crazy. But I have to admit, it taught us resilience. And it serves well today when problems arise. It's not easy, but that's one thing I have to say. My generation of kids growing up, I think we were the resilient generation. The only ones that, I'm thinking about that weren't so lucky, and that was by their own doing, was the whole drug scene. I'd say from the age of 13 up, they just, a lot of friends OD'd, I wasn't really into the drug scene. I had to go bounce back and forth between my mother and my father living because they were divorced. And so, thankfully, when I lived at my dad's, there was no such thing as getting into the drug scene. So, yeah. I tried a couple things when I was like 12, 13, I don't know. Scared me. Didn't really care for it. But other than that, it was fun times. It really was. And it was strict. School was strict. There was no parents suing the teachers or the school for corporal punishment. It didn't kill us. A little sting on the butt and hand with the paddle. Sometimes the teacher would wet the paddle. Bend over. Yeah. And then, I don't know. It was crazy times, but it was also good times. I'm sure every generation's going to have their story later, too. But yeah, that's one thing I realized is it did make us resilient. It did. I think it did. Got me through some pretty tough times in life later as an adult. You just don't quit. You don't give up. You just, fight through things. But yeah, so I'm going to look at other videos like that. And it was pretty cool. That's all I wanted to say. Good night.